Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Yeah, so if this is the first time here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we highly recommend subscribing to stay updated with our latest content. Hit the subscription button above, click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever we at the Jamaica Young Police channel release a video. Remember that this channel is not an entertainment channel. You know, entertainment channels give you an average between 10 to 15 minutes. This is not an entertainment channel, so you have to go elsewhere if you want entertainment. Remember to give this video a thumbs up because you will find it helpful and informative. Please remember to share the video with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, mama, papa, side chick or side man, and tell them to tell a friend about the Jamaica Young Police channel. You can join the Patreon squad. By doing so, you will gain access to exclusive content that cannot be played on YouTube due to various restrictions. To unlock this untapped collection of videos, click the link in the description box below. Joining our Patreon community allows you to explore contents that complies with laws, rules and regulations while avoiding disruption to our channel's functionalities. You'll be able to see videos and you'll see photographs, names of persons who have been killed and are still waiting on justice, like Rifle of the British crew, one of the British of the British crew, and you'll see the people who are involved in the killing of these men and others, including Douglas Chambers, who was killed by PMP criminal organization members, and it came from the top, and to date the person who have given that order has not been arrested and charged for that murder. So you can go to Patreon and you'll be able to see the face and name of those persons. So thanks for your continued support, and we look forward to providing you with exceptional content. So moving on to today's video. Yes, you know, from the get-go in Jamaica, they have been trying their very best to miseducate us as black people, even about people that betray our ancestors. And you know, there's a group of people in Jamaica, they call them Maroons. Yeah, the Maroons are traitors. They are not our friends. So I remember when I was at training school, there was this guy named Solon, and you know, he was boasting that he was a Maroon. And I tell him straight up that he's a traitor. And you know, and we had a conversation, and since then we haven't spoken. Yeah, that was in 1987, because he did not know that some Jamaicans know that they were frauds, that the Maroons were our ancestors' enemy. And you know, the Maroons, they turn against our ancestors. They were the ones who captured them, returned them to the British slave owners, and you know, returned them to be terrorized, tortured, and sometimes killed. So I said that you know, you weren't friends of my ancestor, so you can. I said my ancestor is me, and I am my ancestor, and we haven't spoken since. A short black guy, his name is Solon. Short black. You know, you know, you cannot see him the way that he's black unless you open his eyes or open his mouth. So silent the liars with truth, and as we have said before, if the truth shall kill them, let it kill them. So you know that you know. So this is the question. You know, are you serious? The Maroons captured, killed, and beheaded our ancestors, and freedom fighter Tacky. I know they want us to respect and like them. So, the reason why I'm saying that is that somebody tell me, this is Maroon, that I'm Maroon. No, and I tell her, say, oh, Buju Banton about, no, we don't care about that. We don't say Maroon a traitor. So let's remember the history of betrayal that the Maroons have paid and played their part of. They may have fought against the British, but that doesn't excuse their actions against our people. Tacky fought for our freedom. The Maroons did not. If it was the Maroon alone, would be there in Jamaica on the plantation still. The same Maroons who I tell about them are Maroons, like they are royalty. And most Jamaican people do not know it. The Maroons are traitors. They are not royalty. They are traitors to us black people. And it doesn't matter if you even have European blood in you, you're still black. You understand? Yeah. It no matter if one of your parents white or this or for your black, 1% of blackness, you're black. You understand? We love being black. Remember, Tacky fought for our freedom. And the Maroons turned against him. How can we overlook that betrayal? We can't. You understand? So the next time someone tell you to respect the Maroons, remember the truth about their history. Richard Curry, the leader of the Maroons. So I was going through something. Richard, in 2022, talking about their sovereign people. You understand? And as far as I'm concerned, the Maroons, they should go back to Britain because that's where they're treaty. They sign a treaty with the British. They don't sign any treatment with Jamaican government and us as a people. You understand? If we were wicked people, as they have treated our ancestors, because we are the majority, would invade all of the Maroon territory and would have done what they have done to our ancestors. Yes. Just the same way they put Tacky's head on a pike. You understand? We just say, reciprocate it. So a guy just, you understand? So Richard Curry, the leader or chief of the Maroons in Jamaica, is our greatest enemy because during slavery, his ancestors, the traitors, would capture our ancestors who fled from the plantations to seek freedoms in the hills of Jamaica and its environs. And the Maroons would capture or kill them if they resist and take them back to the enslaver. And that was the agreement they signed with the enemies, which are the British, of our ancestors during slavery. So the Maroon, at no time, the Maroons were never our friends. So they should not be our friends today, is it? So anyone tell about them a Maroon and them thing there, just remind them that they are traitors. Judas. They are not our friends. So when them, you understand? And you know that the British and even the both slave them, even after slavery, try to miseducate our people that the Maroons, they are royalties and they are friends. They are not. The Maroons are not our friends. Stop being naive. You understand? The Maroons are not a sovereign people. They don't have no own country. If they want sovereignty, they go to King Charles. That's who they have the agreement with. They don't have any agreement with Jamaica. Because these are the people that were our enemies then, and they should be our enemies to the day. They should not have no say in nothing in our country. Voting, not even water we should have given these people. These people don't deserve nothing, no form of love. We don't have Stockholm Syndrome. One of the most successful warriors and men who was fighting for our ancestors was an enslaved person from Africa in Jamaica who goes by the name of Tacky. Tacky gave the enslavers hell. That's how it's saying in a history book. Hell on earth. Yes, man. Tacky gave them hell on earth, man. You understand? I remember what they did to Tacky. Tacky was an African in Jamaica. And you give them hell on earth by destroying their cane fields and other forms of income. In the end, Tacky was captured, killed, and beheaded by the Maroons. You see the Maroons that the British and our boss slaves in Jamaica tried to brainwash us that the Maroons were a royalty when they were traitors. The Maroons were never our friends. Never. None of our ancestors. You understand? But you have to go to the library for these information. So you have to love read. So that's why them like when time people illiterate. So when Mark Golding went up to a compound with the Maroons them and them thing, and they could idiot them you know, say a side mark got goal inside with the same people them that were against us. The same Maroons them are traitors to our ancestors. If it was up to them, we would still be on the plantation right now in Jamaica. Most of you still on the plantation. When I say you, I'm not talking our loyal viewers and subscribers who I think. We're talking the PNP criminal organization supporters. The one that support the PNP criminal organization. They don't even realize that the PNP siding with their enemies. The people that enslave them. But even that not even fears them, I don't know to them, who care about that? That happened already and them thing. Because they don't care about history, Fools. Fool dies for wants of wisdom. You understand? So, the Maroons whom the British and our boss slaves in Jamaica were trying to brainwash that the Maroons were royalty to us when they were traitor to us and still are. The Maroons should not be in Jamaica because there is no agreement between our people of Jamaica and the Maroons. The Maroons need to go to Britain and join their partner in slavery, the British monarch, King Charles. So, Jamaica media betrayal, exposing the truth about the Maroon and the traitors to black people. What do you say now, Jamaican people? It's time to uncover the truth and stand together against our natural enemies. The Maroons are the ones who captured and beheaded our most significant and best warrior, Tacky, and put his head on a pike to drive fear into the hearts of our ancestors who were enslaved during slavery by the British, who are the wickedest and most unconscionable mind people on earth, on this earth. The Maroon could keep their treaty because there's no enslaved people in Jamaica to return to the British. So, Mr. and Mr. Maroon, it would help if you went. Yes, if you went to Britain, where the British government must uphold their bargain. Also, Maroon, you need a visa to visit Britain. So, what is your nationality? Maroon, then get your Maroon passport. In war, the losing party lost their land. The British lost the battle and went back to Britain. And the Maroons should follow suit and leave Jamaica as they are not descendants of enslaved people. The Maroons are descendants of traitors and they should leave Jamaica. So as we delve into the dark history of Maroons in Jamaica and shedding light on the truth that has been concealed for far too long, join us as we uncover shocking betrayal of our ancestors by the Maroons, who betrayed and murdered our greatest warrior, Tacky. It's time for our Jamaican people to come together and stand up against our natural enemies, the Maroons, who have long claimed to be saviors of our people, are descendants of traitors who have no right to the land they occupy. Yeah, so when Mark Golding aligned himself with the Maroons, he aligned with the traitors against same black people. But because you see most of them voters, them don't read. Them not like reading it. They must repeat what people tell them. That's why them say, I was told, this is what I heard. You understand? So the Maroons' act of capturing Tacky and displaying his head as a warning to our enslaved ancestors, a testament to their cruelty and betrayal. It's time for them to face the consequences of their actions and leave Jamaica for good. So Mr. and Mrs. Maroon, it's time to pack your bags and head back to Britain, where you truly belong. The British government made a deal with you, and now it's time for you to uphold your end of the bargain. You never signed any deal with us. So when I tell you about Butcher Bantan or Maroon, as if who care, that's why I'm a traitor. That's why I'm taste coke and I tell say, frame him. You understand? So I've been telling Jamaica people that the media houses in Jamaica have and will always be your enemies. There are some reporters and their handlers who are beholden to foreign entities and organizations who have no interest in advancing or improving Jamaican people's way of living, but to destroy them mentally and desensitize them in every way, like Diane Jackson Miller. She has received a check every month from these organizations to promote anti-African living and European culture, which is antithetical to black people's way of living. Mr. Maroon Chief Curry, who is not Jamaican but a descendant of Judas's, when you sign your traitorous ludicrous and absurd peace treaty. You signed it with the British, not with the Jamaican government. So make sure that your little idiot narrative that the Maroon is independent of Jamaican state is nothing but an illusion and foolishness. The British knew that the Maroons were traitors to their brothers and sisters. White people know that these black people were traitors. That is why when they were giving the Jamaican people independence, at no time did they mention you guys as any sovereign people, because your ancestors were traitors. No single entity or person can trust a traitor, and the Maroons were the biggest traitors to the advancement of black people in Jamaica. The Maroons' legacy: Maroon captured national hero Paul Bogle and handed him over to be hung by the British. They murdered Three Finger Jack. They murdered Tacky. They were instrumental in the capture of another national hero, Sam Sharp. The Jamaican people have been living with these enemies within, whose people used to believe were heroes, not knowing that they were our ancestors' worst nightmare than the British. Now that you know they weren't your friends, what do you say, Jamaican people? We expose the truth about the betrayal by the Jamaican media and shed light on the dark history of the Maroons as traitors to the advancement of black people in Jamaica. It's time to confront the reality that the media houses in Jamaica have been and will always be your enemies, promoting anti-African living and desensitizing the Jamaican people in every way. Figures like Dean Jackson Miller have been receiving paycheck, from Washington DC every month to promote European lifestyle and black people. The Maroons, they were never our friends and should never, ever be our friends. We should never regard them as any brothers or any sisters. They are not. They are traitors. So, while we continue the journey, we want you to listen to, this presentation, because as we're saying over here, if you're not learning anything, you're at the wrong channel, because over here it's not an entertainment channel. You understand? We're going to touch on a topic that most people we normally don't delve into these things for various reasons, you understand? But I'm going to teach you something about the Maroons. The Maroons are traitors. You understand what I'm saying? The Maroons are the Jamaican Judases of the Caribbean. 5 p.m. my time. I don't know where you are in the world. And I am going to educate you about these words that your parents and relatives have been using frequently for years in Jamaica, that most of you don't even know where these words originated from. You understand? And listen now, these are the words that your parents and relatives have been using frequently for years. Don't bring any black people into the family. No black people. Most Jamaicans often hear their parents and family members echo this mantra from birth. And most black people don't know what's the origin of these words and why. Have you ever brought home someone who is jet black? Yes, I am asking you. You understand? What was the response of your parents and family members? Most of the time, this is the response that you will get after the person leave, or they will take you in a corner and say, black people I am talking about. You understand? Why did you bring that blackie tutus here to spoil up our family? Another derogatory tones. And these people who are making the statements are black. So this is black people, and they're telling you, don't bring no black people coming in our family, and they are black people. But most Jamaicans do not know where this terminology is from, why this mantra has been riveted into our brain from birth. Welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. We are an experienced detective of the Jamaica Constabulary Force about to educate you with facts, history, and not hyperbole. I know that many of our Jamaican people do not like to read or even listen to educational things, because the content matters, especially the length of time of the same. So once it is long and they don't like that, they want something that tickle their fancy, because most Jamaican people have a short attention span. They are like goldfishes. 19 seconds and it's like they have ADH. 19 seconds. Jamaican people are like goldfishes. So that's why you have to be careful when you communicate with them. I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just being honest about our people. Majority of them. You understand? Now we see why our people are so illiterate. They are lazy and want everything to be given to them on a platter because they do not want to read. Even reading, they have socialized something that is empowering them and they refuse the same. Reading, can you believe? Because everything in Jamaica, them socialize it. And they socialize reading, and these people don't. That's a 100 part of socialism them now. The reading part. They refuse it. Anyway, I have seen this guy who is the leader, the chief for the Maroons, threatening our police officers in Jamaica with violence. Also the Jamaican government. Worst of all is that the Minister of National Security, Dr. Orius Chang, is siding with the Maroons and condemning the police action of doing their jobs. Now, finally, the Prime Minister, St. Andrew Holiness, whom I am not a fan of, not because of his politics, but because he's anti-police rhetoric and is lacking leadership in eradicating crime and criminals like the late Edward Seaga did in the 1980s. It is the first time I agree with the Prime Minister's statement. And I want you, my listeners, to listen carefully to what I'm about to say. And it is the best statement that he had made for the year 2022. This is the best statement St. Andrew Holiness has ever made in his career since he has become. I want you to listen to this, okay?
Maroons in a compound St. Elizabeth are expressing hurt and disappointment at comments made by Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Sunday. Now, responding to journalists at a press briefing, Mr. Holness insisted that his administration does not recognize any group as a sovereign state in Jamaica. Our reporter Giovanni Dennis is in a compound and filed this report earlier this evening.
Through bad and sometimes muddy roads, our team ventured to Akongpong St. Elizabeth on Monday. It was a day after this remark by Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
Jamaica is a unitary, sovereign state. There is no other sovereign authority in Jamaica other than the government of Jamaica. I want that to be absolutely clear. None. And under my leadership, not 1 inch of Jamaica will come under any other sovereign authority.
There's a sense of disappointment among Maroons here in Akongpong St. Elizabeth. They're hurt by comments made by Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Sunday about their sovereignty.
Well, right now I think a foolish statement need you need to jab back and think back and go back in a chair and think again and come back with a different statement.
Where's Maroon?
Because we know the peace treaty we sign, you know. You understand what I say? We want to sign a peace treaty, you understand what I say?
Bloodshed for us.
Bloodshed for us, man.
I don't forget what the Prime Minister said. Iran, because they already know that Maroon Town is a state within a state. We are a sovereign set of people, loving, kind.
We lose off our Prime Minister. Whenever I expect him to say something like that about Maroon, nothing going to win the next time, the next election. 200 here. Yeah man, in disrespect Maroon. I will not feel good about it. Yeah man.
What you don't want to see happen right now?
I live where I live good.
Just like how we are live?
Just like how we are live.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Peace and love there.
Peace and love.
Why would he say something like that? Is he drinking? We need to take him to Kinder, make him find us that we are the most powerful person in this world, not him. We need to come and apologize to us because we are not a gorilla. Why a decent citizen?
Is he crazy?
Him a baller. Because he cannot rule the country. He cannot rule the constituency. Look at murder going up there.
Chief of the Akongpong Maroons, Richard Curry, is urging dialogue.
For those who are leaders are responsible for maintaining proper communication and not allow themselves to mislead or misdirect the energies of a particular situation, because it could be detrimental.
He insists the situation needs to be de-escalated going forward.
More responsible and respectful communication, because I've always been asking for communication and dialogue. So for us, it's really about ensuring that, you know, as leaders, we have a responsibility and a duty to the people to ensure that when we communicate effectively, clearly, and also seek all measures, all measures that are available to de-escalate and address situations before they become otherwise.
I think the first step the Prime Minister should take is apologizing to the Maroons publicly.
I've been speaking to people since I've been here, and a lot of people sound very hurt by what he said. What's the mood in the community?
It's a down feeling here in Akongpong, and it's only because of what the Prime Minister had said.
The Maroons contend their sovereignty hinges on this treaty signed between their forefathers and British colonizers in 1738. From Akongpong, St. Elizabeth, Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
Well, I have been telling the Jamaican people that the media houses in Jamaica have and will always be your enemies. Let me repeat what I have just said. I have been telling the Jamaican people that the media houses in Jamaica have and will always be your enemies. They are some reporters and their handlers who are beholden to foreign entities and organizations who have no interest in advancing or improving Jamaican people's way of living, but to destroy them mentally and desensitize them in every way. Like Diane Jackson Miller, she receives her check every month from these organizations to promote anti-African living and promoting European culture, which is antithetical to black people. Now, if you listen to those people, these maroon people, talking about they want an apology from the Prime Minister, how about these people apologize to us, Jamaicans? We are the ones that these people are supposed to be apologizing to. We are the one that these people should be begging mercy from, because these people were our worst enemies during slavery. But because most Jamaican people do not love to read, they don't know this. So what they did, they taught the Jamaican people, including myself, that the Maroons are some like royalty and they were fighters and they were this and they were that. The Maroons were traitors. They were traitors to Jamaican people. But most Jamaican people do not read. You see, the University of the West Indies, that Ghetto University, is to destroy black people in Jamaica because they don't teach them in all these things, you know. You understand? You have to go to the library in Jamaica to learn about these wicked Judases. You understand? And these are the people that your family and relative have been telling you from your baby. Don't bring any black people into the family. When they have been echoing this sentiment, it's because of the Maroons. It's nothing else because they hate black people. It's because of the Maroons. Why is the same black people resent black people in Jamaica? You understand? So, Mr. Maroon, Chief Curry, who's not a Jamaican because he's a Maroon. So Maroons are not Jamaicans. You understand? Because these people, they claim that they're in a sovereign state within a state. Only Tivoli Gardner alone used to enjoy that. And that marched down from 2010. May 2010. So you're not sovereign nothing. You understand? All of you people there are descendants of traitors to black people. You are the ones who are supposed to apologize to us. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, when I see this little this guy disrespecting the police, my blood boils. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? So these people, they are descendants of Judas. They are descendants of Judases, the Judases of the Caribbean, the Maroons. You understand? When the Maroons signed their traitorous, ludicrous and absurd peace treaty, they signed it with the British, not with the Jamaican government. So we, our government, the 1962 when Jamaica get independence, Bustamante never signed anything with these traitors because they knew then that these people were our traitors, the biggest enemies in Jamaica. So I don't know what he's talking about, a sovereign state within a state. This is the place that we need for, you understand, we have the thugs them down there and everything. Let the thugs them go and go live a Maroon town where they can do what they want to do. You understand? So these, you know, so make sure that your little idiot narrative that the Maroon is independent of the Jamaican state is nothing but an illusion and foolishness. Chief Curry talking nonsense. You understand? Maybe his brain must be clogged up with some garbage about sovereign state within a state. You understand? The Prime Minister already explained that, and that is already there. You understand? Who's sovereign state in a state? Fool! If you people had a sovereign state within a state, idiot Curry, you would have your own government, your own police source, your own army, your own guns, your own this, your own that. You have nothing. It's we that you people leeching on. You understand? Your education you get was through us. You guys now don't have nothing up there because you guys are traitors. You understand? And the British knew that the Maroons were traitors to their brothers and sisters who are from Africa. All of us. And the reason why I don't look like Chief Curry in terms of my youth is because of this mantra that has been implanted from our ancestors coming down. Don't bring any black people into the family. It's the Maroons. Why our parents repeat that, but some of them repeat it to their own children, even the own black people, and don't know where it came from. You understand? So that's why I'm here to educate you people about that. Most of you don't like to read, you know. You understand? So I have to, not who's listening, but not my listeners, but the ones who don't like to read. Most of them, they just want to hear about people's business and stupidity that don't empower them. You understand? You know, these people are traitors, man. You understand? So that is why when they were given the Jamaican people independence, at no time did the British mention the Maroons as any sovereign people, because the Maroons, their ancestors were traitors, and no single entity or person can trust a traitor, and the Maroons were the biggest traitors to the advancement of the black people in Jamaica. Not the white people in Jamaica was our problem, you know. It's the black people, the Maroons. These people were traitors to our ancestors. You understand? Jamaica gained universal adult suffrage in 1944 and complete independence from our colonial masters in 1962. One of the main clauses in the treaty that the Maroons signed with the British was that the Maroons were supposed to hunt down, capture and bring runaway slaves back to the plantations. I want you people to listen, because this guy, you know, this foolish guy, I don't know what getting him if he's smoking weed or crack or what. You understand? So I want you to listen, you know. You understand? One of the main clauses in the treaty that the Maroons signed with the British was that the Maroons were supposed to hunt down, capture and bring any runaway slaves to the plantations. The runaway slaves were white people, you know. They were black people just like the Maroons. So that is where it says don't bring any black people into the family, because you cannot trust them. They are traitors. That's why even right now in Jamaica you call them, they are the friend killers. You can't trust them. Same black people. You understand? So the Maroons would be paid for their captured to be whipped severely as an example to other slaves. That is what these people did to our ancestors. They would capture them and make sure that they were beat mercilessly. These traitors to black people, the Maroons. The Maroons also to fight alongside the British Army if the slaves mounted a slave revolt or insurrection. So anytime our ancestors who were in slavery and they wanted to start a rebellion, who was the one who was fighting with the British? It was the Maroons. The boast that they're not even, they weren't considered slaves because they're black and they're free people. But their freedom is gained at the expense of the other black people. They fight for theirs, and got theirs, Instead they join with us, our ancestors, and say, yes, let we take over this place like how the Asian took over Haiti. No. They join with the white people, so they are the traitors of the Caribbean, but they are free sovereign people. You understand what I'm saying? I am telling you, man, the Maroons did this with much zeal and enthusiasm to fight with the slave owned, the British army, to kill their own black brothers and sister people who's black like them. You understand? They did it with enthusiasm. The Maroons killed thousands of our ancestors who were fighting for freedom. Imagine that. Thousands of our ancestors, black people, in Jamaica who were from Africa. And there, the Maroons are from Africa too. All of us. You understand? My ancestors' blood is on the Maroons and their descendants and their children and grandchildren. The Maroons, the blood of our ancestors are on these people at a compound town. You are all of ill repute with a reputation of a snake and a weasel. Your history and mere existence remind me of a penny which I can describe as having two faces and don't worth a thing. None is an era, but to which group of people in Jamaica? Historical records reveal that after obtaining territorial exclusion from slave ownership, she and her followers allied with the plantocracy to capture and return runaway slave in receipt of payment. She was a slave catcher. She was a hero to the British slave owners who were working our ancestors to death. You understand? Nanny, she helped them to profit off them. The British made sure that she was made an hero, that for what she did to our ancestors. The hero that nobody is talking about. The hero that nobody is fighting over is Tacky, the hero of slavery and a warrior. Do you know who killed him? Who killed Tacky? Beheading him like savages and placed his head on a stick, pike, to warn and drive fear into the hearts of other slaves who are black people from Africa. It was the Maroons who did this to our ancestors. The Maroons, not the British. It wasn't the white men who killed Tacky and cut her and beheaded him, like what you see what's happening now in Jamaica. It's the Maroons. And if you look at even the same killers in Jamaica, they are black people who are beheading people now. It's the Maroons who did that to Tacky. You understand? And the British make certain that Tacky did not become an hero when they signed Jamaica get independence. You understand? Nobody. Tacky is our hero. You understand what I'm saying? To drive. They kill him, the Maroons. The beloved Maroons are enemies of black people of Jamaica. Were brought here as slaves. They are our enemies and traitors and should pay for the crimes against us and apologize. But the Prime Minister to apologize. You people need to apologize to us for the crimes that your ancestors have committed against us as black people. So, my late grandfather, who was family members who were slaves, that is my grandfather. My grandfather was a slave. You understand? Because my grandfather lived till nearly 90. You understand? My late grandfather, that would be my great grandfather, was a slave. You understand? And surviving members of slavery in Jamaica said that the Maroons were our ancestors' worst enemy. They have signed treaties with the British to capture runaway slaves who were indigenous people from Africa. Still, they did not see themselves as their brothers and sisters, because they were the ones who caught our ancestors and returned them to the slave owners to get flogging mercilessly and then put them to work in the cane fields. I am not surprised at the comment of Dr. Chang back then at all, because these politicians in Jamaica are more for empowering, supporting, promoting and protecting the criminals in Jamaica because it suits them politically and financially. It won't surprise me one iota if the government grant the Maroons their own country in the country, which is ludicrous. That's not going to happen because these people, they are traitors. You understand what I'm saying? Where the policies was sacrosanct, practiced and known to the Jamaican security force. Out in Valley Gardens, a JP strong away the last war in Jamaica, the security forces won and the militants suffer a decisive defeat. In the end, they were condemned by both political parties. In the end, the people of Tivoli Gardens got one of the biggest reparations for their attack on the state, and the police officers did not get even a statement of support. I am used to being attacked by friends who have called me all kinds of names of being a political act, but one thing is sure about me: I am not beholden to anyone or political parties or any race of people. You understand? The Jamaican people do not like to read. They do not like to read history books because they are lazy. They are lazy. They do not like. They are lazy. They do not like to read. You understand? What the Maroons were doing to our ancestors was one of the worst atrocities they have ever done to our warriors. Was that they captured one of the most fearless fighters, the late Tacky, killed him, beheaded him and put his head on a pike for others to see in the public domain. Why do you think our warriors who have helped to free our ancestors and at the end the terribly experience of slavery are not recognized as an act? Do you think it's an accident? It is deliberate. One of the one who deserved the national hero honor and hasn't received the same was Tacky, because he single-handedly gave the British plantation owners hell and problem as he was burning down the cane fields and hit them where it hurts financially. His efforts helped the Americans win the Civil War against the British, as he caused the British army to stretch, fighting wars on two fronts. The Maroons are not our friends. Jamaicans and their ancestors, the Maroons have blood on their shoulder too as the British, and we should take back the land from them, because in wars the losing party always loses their land and the Maroons should lose theirs. The British government is not the Jamaican government, so we do not have to honor any treaty, and there is no treaty because there is no slave for the Maroons to capture anymore. So that treaty null and void. No slave in Jamaica for the Maroons to catch. So the Maroons can keep their treaty because there is no one there to catch and return to any plantation. So that treaty is null and void. So if Mr. Curry, you can go to hell. You are your idiots up there. You understand? I hope coronavirus visit you guys up there. All of you people are traitors. It is one of Jamaica, and if the Maroons do not want to abide by the laws of Jamaica, go to British with your ally, who was your ally during slavery. You understand? Maroons, here's the Maroons legacy. The Maroons captured national hero Paul Bogle and handed him over to be hung by the British. The Maroons, they murdered Three Finger Jack. They murdered Tacky and put his head on a pike, and they were instrumental in capturing of another national hero, Sam Sharp. the Jamaican people have been living with the enemies within, whose people used to believe were heroes, not knowing that they were our ancestors' worst nightmare than the British. The Maroons were more evil to our ancestors than the British because of what they have done to our era. Now that you know that they weren't our friends, what do you say, Jamaican people? Now that you know that the Maroons, this guy, Chief Curry and all his people that up there in a compound town, what do you say now? What do you do now, knowing that they are the enemies that live within? Because their ancestors were never our friends. Where they're living right now, they were given that parts of land in Jamaica to capture runaway slaves and return them to the plantations. We don't have any plantation anymore, so we don't have any slave in Jamaica. So there's no reason for them to be there because there's no one to capture, because we are all free people now in Jamaica. So that treaty is not all void. You understand? Thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. Please remember to like, share and subscribe the video. Have yourself a beautiful day. And the Maroons are still our biggest enemies and traitors in Jamaica. They are not our friends, never have and never will. It's time for us to take back our land. In war, the losing party lose their land. You understand? The Maroons lost because the British packed up their things and they went back to Britain. It's time for the Maroons to follow them. We do not want them in Jamaica. We don't want no Maroons in Jamaica. We don't want a sovereign state in our side. Yeah, so when you see Mark Golden, rubbing shoulder with the Maroons them and Hobby and all kind of madness and them thing, that him that goes show that him he doesn't Mark Golden love black people, because if he's kissing up the enemies of our ancestors, these people are traitors to us. These people are not our friend. Just look on the screen. That is the era that the British deliberately make sure that the two white men were signed, were Buster Manty and Norman Manley, make certain that this black man wasn't named national era, because this is the man why we get independent, why we become independent. And guess what? The same people will get us independent, them destroy us as a people, because same black as a white people destroy black people, man. Michael Manley, a white people do it, and then black people take over, and follow suit, through them corrupt all about power and destruction of black people life. So everywhere we turn, the enemy them all is there to stick us. And right now we have a government that is totally, it's totally not looking out for black people. They're not looking out for us at all. They just want to keep us docile and keep us ignorant. And whilst they're, ramp up the corruption and fill them pockets, they and their friends and get all of the protection in the world from the higher ups. As we said before, and we say it again, the Maroons is not our friend. Never have and never will. Yes, you understand? So, anytime and somebody telling you that they are Maroon, just remind them that you are a traitor to us as a people. You were never our friends or our ancestors. We have seen, what's his name, Dr. Umar Johnson, very disappointing for this black man to, even visit Jamaica and siding with the, visiting and celebrating with our worst enemies in Jamaica. You understand? But that's how it is, when you're ignorant and you don't read. Because if Dr. Umar Johnson had read about these people, you would know that he's meeting with the traitors. So when he's promoting Marcus Garvey, little did he know that Marcus Garvey didn't even like these people. And Marcus Garvey is a African too. You understand? Because no matter where you're born as a black man, you're an African. Because if a pig born in a plane, it's still a pig. So no matter where the pig born, you could have born in a styes, sea, ship, still a pig. So no matter how Jamaican people, and them have Jamaican people so ignorant that you tell a Jamaican say them are African and them get vexed and I say them are Jamaican. Jamaican is not a nationality. You understand? Jamaican is not a nationality. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.